Hi, welcome to EPG Pathshala Spanish. I'm Rajiv Saxena and I teach Spanish at the Center of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian and Latin American Studies of the Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi. We are dealing with the intermediate grammar paper. What we call this module is Repaso dos or Practical Spanish 2. In the previous modules, we have dealt with topics such as past imperfect tense, conditional mood, present perfect, future perfect, and the conditional perfect. So, the objective of this module is to revise the past imperfect tense, conditional mood, present perfect, future perfect, and the conditional perfect because these topics need minute attention of the Spanish language learners. In this chapter, we will cover the uses of these topics through help of examples followed by some questions which will strengthen our grip on these topics. This will be a useful tool not only for people who want to learn the language but also people who want to revise or who want to prepare for other exams which are competitive exams. We shall be looking at these examples of different short stories in order to understand the functioning of these topics in Spanish language, written and the spoken form. We will be revising some important aspects of all the things that we have done in the previous modules. So, let us start by the imperfect. The imperfect is formed by dropping the endings of the infinitive AR, ER and IR and adding the following endings to the verbs. For example, nadar, which is an AR ending verb and means to swim, we put nadaba, nadabamos, nadabais, nadabais, nadaba and nadaban. There is only one accent on the amos. Nadaba, nadabamos, nadabas, nadabais, nadaba and nadaban. Note that in the imperfect ER and IR verbs, the same endings and all forms have a written accent mark. The nosotros form is the only AR verb with a written accent mark. There are only three verbs with irregular conjugations in the imperfect, which are ir, ser and ver. So this is very easy to learn because there are only three verbs with irregular conjugations in the imperfect tense, which are ir, ser and ver. Ir is iba, ibas, iba, ibamos, ibais, iban. So, yo iba, tú ibas, él, ella, usted iba, nosotros, nosotras, ibamos with an accent on I, vosotros, vosotras, ibais, and ellos, ellas, ustedes, iban. Again, for ser, the conjugation is era, eras, era, éramos with an accent on e, erais, eran. So the conjugation of ser is era, eras, era, éramos, erais, eran. For ver is almost all the same. Veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, veían, with an accent on all the e's. Veía, veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, and veían. We use the imperfect one to describe people or states of indefinite duration in the past. So, when we describe people or states of indefinite duration in the past, we use the imperfect. Era un académico muy famoso. He was a very famous academician. Era un académico muy famoso. So, this is describing a person, of the people. He was a very famous academician. And secondly, to express the English equivalent of the construction would plus verb, referring to actions that took place repeatedly or customarily in the past. Yo pasaba muchas horas allí. I used to or would spend many hours there. Yo pasaba muchas horas allí. So, This we can see is how the imperfect is being used. Thirdly, imperfect is also used to express age in the past. Ella tenía 30 años. She was 30 years old. Ella tenía 30 años. And fourthly, we can use the imperfect to describe the background or circumstances of an action. Era un día hermoso fresco. It was a beautiful, cool day. The conditional, which is another form of tense, is formed by attaching the following endings to the infinitive. For example, montar would change to ride, would change to montaría, montarías, montaría, montaríamos, montaríais, montarían. So montar to ride would be conjugated as in the conditional as montaría, montarías, montaría, montaríamos, montaríais, and montarían. For another verb like perder, again it remains the same. Perdería, perderías, perdería, perderíamos, perderíais, perderían. Please pay attention that all the I's or the E's have an accent on the E. Perdería, perderías, perdería. Perderíamos, perderíais, perderían. Another example of an IR ending verb is subir. So, we do not drop the infinitive and we just add the ia. Subiría, subirías, subiría, subiríamos, subiríais, and subirían. So, it is very easy. All conditional forms have an accent mark on the I. The three conjugations AR, ER, and IR have the same endings. The conditional in Spanish is a single word construction. That means that we do not need would like we need in its English equivalent. Yo no hablaría con él. I would never talk to him or I would not talk to him. Yo no hablaría con él. Él nunca mentiría. He would never lie. Él nunca mentiría. He would never lie. So we can see that we do not require to use would. Verbs like poner drop the E or I of the infinitive and add the consonant D. Pondría, poner, to put. Pondría, pondrías, pondría, pondríamos, pondríais, pondrían. There are other verbs like poner, like salir, which changes to saldría, I would go out, etc. Tener, tendría, I would have, etc. Verbs like poder also drop the vowel of the infinitive entirely. So, poder becomes podría. Poder becomes podría, podrías, podría, podríamos, podríais, and podrían. We just have to be careful and remember always that the verbs decir and hacer show a change in their base or radical. For example, diría, or in the case of hacer, it will be haría. Decir to tell is conjugated as diría, dirías, diría, diríamos, diríais, dirían. Hacer to do is conjugated as haría, harías, haría, haríamos, haríais, harían. So it is very simple that once we remember decir as diría, dirías, diría, diríamos, diríais, and dirían, and hacer as haría, harías, haría, haríamos, haríais, harían, we know how to do the conjugation of the verbs. We use the conditional also to express hypothetical situations in the conditional clauses. Si pudiera, dormiría toda la semana. If I could, I would sleep the whole week. Like we had mentioned, the would in English translation is required, but in Spanish, dormiría includes the would part. Si pudiera, dormiría toda la semana. The speaker is talking about his or her wish to sleep the whole week using the conditional form dormiría. Why? Because it is unlikely that this wish will become a reality. That is why the conditional is being used. This type of sentence is known as contrary to fact because the actions are hypothetical, not real. So, remember that the cause appearing in the if clause in the past subjunctive AC pudiera. So, the tense appearing in the if clause is the past subjunctive si pudiera, and we use the contrary to fact because these actions are hypothetical, not real. That is why we are using the conditional. The unlikely outcome appears in the result clause where you will find the conditional. The imperfect tense of deber in the expression deber de plus an infinitive is also used to communicate probability in the past. It is very important to understand the use of past participle to learn the perfect tenses. So, once we understand the uses of past participle, it is easy to learn the perfect tenses. In Spanish, past participles, equivalents of the ed forms or regular past participles in English, are also based on the infinitive. They end in ado for ar ending verbs or ido for er and ir ending verbs. The following examples show two verbs in the present perfect. Iqbal ha terminado pero no ha salido. Iqbal has finished but has not left. So, to form the conditional in Spanish, a form of the auxiliary verb haber, a verb not commonly used in simple tenses except for the impersonal form like I, there is, there are, or había, there was, there were, etc. Given are herewith are the present tense forms of haber used to form the present perfect. Let us look at them. Hemos, has, habéis, ha, han. Has, ha, hemos, habéis, han. Yo he, tú has, él, ella, usted ha, nosotros, nosotras, hemos, vosotros, vosotras, habéis, ellos, ellas, ustedes, han. So it is very simple. We drop the AR ending and add ado. For example, bailar, we remove the AR and put bailado, ado. We drop the ER and IR endings and add ido. Tener, we drop the ER and put ido, tenido. Salir, we drop the IR and make it salido. The present perfect is formed with a present form of haber followed by the past participle of the verb which you wish to conjugate. For example, let us take the three verbs escuchar, to listen, coger, to take, catch, salir, to leave, or to go out. So, the conjugation of escuchar would be he escuchado, has escuchado, ha escuchado, hemos escuchado, habéis escuchado, han escuchado, escuchado. So, in this way, we can see how escuchar is being done. Let us pick up the second verb, which is coger. So, the same sense, we use he cogido, has cogido, ha cogido, hemos cogido, and habéis cogido, and han cogido. The last verb that we would like to do over here is salir. So, the conjugation would be he salido, has salido, ha salido, hemos salido, habéis salido, and han salido. So, it is very easy once we get to know the rules. The two groups of commonly used verbs form their different past participle in a slightly different way. ER or IR verbs with stem vowels A, E or O immediately preceding The infinitive ending require a written accent mark over the I of the participle form. So, for example, atraer to attract becomes atraído with an accent on I. Oír to hear becomes oído with an accent on I. And Spanish, there are also many verbs that can be categorized as irregular when they are formed into a past participle. So the past participle is a bit difficult as there are many verbs which are categorized as irregular. A list of these verbs is given below, and if you learn them carefully, then it will become very easy for you to become a master in how to use these past participles. Abrir to open is abierto. Morir to die is muerto. Cubrir to cover in the past participle becomes cubierto. Poner to put in the past participle becomes puesto. Abrir, abierto, morir, muerto, cubrir, cubierto, poner, puesto. The use of the perfect present in Spanish to communicate a following situation. 1. An action or event initiated in the past that is continuing into the present. So, whenever we are referring to an action or event which started in the past and that is continuing into the present, then we use this tense, which is he vivido aquí por más de 20 años. I have lived here for over 20 years. The message says we have lived here and we continue to live here. Secondly, an action or event occurring in the past that does not refer to a concrete time. It is often used to refer to an action completed at a recent moment in time. So, whenever we want to talk about an action or event that occurs in the past but does not refer to a concrete time, then we use this tense. It is often used to refer to an action completed at a recent moment also in time. So, the two things to be remembered are event occurring in the past that does not refer to a concrete time, or an action completed at a recent moment in time. The future perfect tense describes an action or event that will be completed at a moment in the future before some other action or event takes place. When we talk about English grammar, just like other compound tenses, the future perfect tense consists of two things: an auxiliary verb and a past participle. And the same happens in Spanish also. All auxiliary aber future forms have an accent mark on the last syllable except the nosotros form. So, all the aber future forms have an accent mark on the last syllable except the nosotros form. The elements of a compound tense cannot be separated in Spanish. El médico seguramente se habrá salido. The doctor will surely have left. We use the future perfect in Spanish to 1. Express an action that will take place in the future before another action or event. So, whenever we want to express an action that will take place in the future before another action or event, we use the future perfect in Spanish. A estas horas mañana ya ellos habrán vuelto. By this time tomorrow they will have come back. A estas horas mañana ya ellos habrán vuelto. Secondly, we use it to express conjecture or probability in the past. Conjecture or probability in the past uses this tense. ¿Quién habrá tocado a la puerta? Who could have knocked at the door? ¿Quién habrá tocado a la puerta? Lokesh no respondió. Se habrá ido. Lokesh did not answer. He must have left. Lokesh no respondió. Se habrá ido. Again, we use this to express reservations or to question the reality of an action in the past. So, whenever we want to raise questions of the reality of an action in the past Or we want to express reservations, we use this tense. Rohit habrá bajado de peso, pero no se nota. Rohit might have lost weight, but it is not noticeable. The conditional perfect is another tense in Spanish which is a compound tense. The forms of the conditional of haber are used as auxiliary verb for the conditional perfect. The past participle of the verb being conjugated is added to the auxiliary to create the compound tense. So we have to keep in mind that all conditional forms of haber, the auxiliary verb, have an accent mark on the I. The elements of a compound tense cannot be separated. So all the conditional forms of haber, auxiliary verb, have an accent mark on the I. And secondly, the elements of a compound tense cannot be separated. Ravi habría comprado una motocicleta. Ravi would have bought a motorcycle. Ravi habría comprado una motocicleta. We use the conditional perfect in Spanish to indicate, and again, an action or event that would have happened if certain conditions, expressed or not, were met in the past. So, we use the conditional perfect to express an action or event that would have happened if certain conditions, which we have clarified or not, were met in the past. Habríamos comprado los juguetes. We would have bought the toys. Now, to conclude, we would like to say that we have tried to cover everything about the past imperfect tense, the conditional mood, the present perfect, the future perfect, and the conditional perfect. But we know that practice is the only thing to make a man perfect, and it is the key to learn a new language. So, we need to do more exercises and learn how to use it. Once we have learned these topics, the uses of these topics have a wide application in the Spanish language. Thank you.